What is up, guys? It's the FM Seagull here, and I'm making another video because I literally just finished my top 10 Wonder Kids video, and I was thinking to myself, all these Wonder Kids are great, but what about the regens, right? I've got so many cool regens. I mean, when you look at my team right here, there's one guy in the starting level 11 here who's not a regen. I could easily replace him for somebody who's basically just as good and is a regen. And I'm just in 2026. I love Regens in Football Manager. I think it's one of the coolest concepts in all of gaming. And so I decided that I wanted to make a video of my top 10 favorite Football Manager 22 Regens. If you want me to do one on my FM21 favorite Regens as well, then let me know. Because I had some incredible Regens in my save that I did back then. I managed to win the Champions League out of Norway and everything. And so if you want to see that, let me know. And also subscribe because I might do that even though nobody wants to see it. But yeah, so let's get into my favorite regens. We're gonna do this list a little bit differently, and we're just gonna do it very simple. We're gonna start with my favorite, and it is this man right here, Diego Lopez. So obviously he is a Colombian wonder kid, which, big shocker, it's one of the best countries to get wonder kids in all of Football Manager. I mean, if you look at his stats, I mean, wow, right? You can also look at, I mean, he hasn't had an incredible season this season, but you see him last season here for Liverpool, played pretty well, played very well for us that season. And you can see that he only played 2 seasons there. The Norwegian season is 30 games long. He only played 15 games in the league that first season. And obviously he's not been like my best wonder kid in terms of like I guess influence on my team and this save in general. But just because he is as good as he is, like, I just have to put him on here. He is incredible. Was very, very salty when I had to sell him. And obviously, as you could see, sold him for about half what he's worth right now. Obviously, the reason is I'm in Norway. Um, it's not a very high reputation league. We're currently the 11th highest reputation league in Europe, and so people don't really want to pay too much money for our players, which I can understand. But yeah, he is my favorite regen in Football Manager 22. Next up, we have another one that we just sold quite recently. And he's one that he's more of a, should I say, traditional player, right? The last guy that we saw was somebody who was very creative and, very agile, while he wasn't necessarily, the most explosive in terms of pace and stuff. This guy right here, Milos Gligorich, he is just a textbook winger. He's fast, he can dribble, he can cross it pretty well. His crossing stat is always only 11, but I mean, he did have 12 assists in 22 games for us. He actually played on the left-hand side when I was using the last guy, Diego Lopez, on the right-hand side. Because if you didn't see it then, Diego Lopez is actually a fairly good aerial player. He has like 15 heading or something. And so when I was using him as an inside forward, I was crossing it from the left-hand side with this guy, and it created a lot of goals for me. As you can see here, I had to sell him for only 11 million. When a team like Man United are coming in and wanted to buy a player, they are going to get unsettled if you don't sell them. And so, unfortunately, I had to let him go. Miss him already. My current left winger isn't as good as him. I've been trying out a little bit different stuff. Changed it over to an inside forward on that side. But yeah. So he is my second favorite regen in Football Manager 22. To complete my attacking line of former seasons, we have a Norwegian regen, which normally aren't this good. I haven't messed around with the like youth rating and stuff in this save, and so it's just, you know, basic Norwegian youth rating, which isn't very good. I think it's like 80 out of 200 or something like that. But this guy was just incredible. He came from one of the best academies in Norway, which is Stabæk. And I signed him for a lot of money to start with. It's like one of the biggest, like, inter, or one of the biggest transfer from one Norwegian club to another, I should say. And it was massive at the time. It was most of our budget, but I mean, we got output from him straight away. And you can see these seasons that he played for us, he was incredible. This bid for 23 million wasn't actually me who accepted it. Was the board, because his like estimated value at the time was only like 10 million, and then Toronto was just putting in bids, and I was rejecting it because I wasn't really interested in speaking to them anyway. And then a bid came in for 23 million, and the board was like, yeah, we have to accept it. And I was like, can I at least try to get more? And they were like, nah, 23 million is too much. So yeah, so unfortunately I did have to sell him. He did play in that attacking three along with Diego Lopez and Gligorich, and so that was a very, very good attacking three. And yeah, it's definitely better than the one that we have right now. But you know, we still have a lot of young regents who we are developing. Hopefully we'll have one that's better someday. Next up, we actually have a center back here that I signed very, very early in this save, who is just literally perfect. What I try to do, or what I do in almost every single Football Manager save, is I have center backs who are very good in the air. Obviously, this guy I sold him, I should say, a couple of seasons ago, and so he has become quite a bit better when he's been playing at Watford. But already when he was playing for us, he was very, very solid in the air, as he is right now. He's fairly two-footed. Just everything about him is incredible, especially when you see how much I signed him for. Now, I signed him on a release clause for 82,000 euros, or pounds, sorry. And I can't help but think that that was a bug, because that was just way too cheap for him even back then. Like, he started out with 16 tackling and great physicals and everything like that. So I don't know what Vitesse were doing, but it was incredible for me. Obviously, as you can see, I had sold for only 7 million, which is an absolute robbery for a player of his caliber. But as I said, in Norway, you can't really sell players for too much anyway. So yeah, you just have to take those bids, right? He would have probably killed me or something if I didn't accept that, when he's got 15 strength. So I think he could have if he wanted to. And yeah, but he's still one of my favorite regents in Football Manager 22. The final wonder kid here is someone who was so important for me when I was, you know, first starting out playing in Europe and stuff. He was a part of a three-man midfield with actually the two other guys that you can see right here. This guy I very recently sold to Man City. This guy sold to Arsenal as well. And he was playing as a center mid on attack, and obviously while he's not great in the air, right, because he's pretty small, hasn't really got good heading, bravery and stuff, he still scored a lot of goals. And center mid on attack, you get into a lot of advanced positions, and obviously 16 passing, 16 vision, he's going to do well in those areas. Yeah, I really miss him. As you can see, his value while he's at Arsenal right now is very, very high. We did get to loan him for a season after we sold him for only 6.5 million, which, yes, I know, that's horrible. Another guy that I bought from Vitesse for 900k, which was an actual buy. He didn't have a low release clause. But yeah, you've seen the stats. They speak for themselves. I don't know what position he's playing it in at Arsenal. He's been being subbed in a lot of games, which, how do Arsenal have a better player than this to play? Who knows? Anyway, that completes the list, actually. I don't know if I said 10 at the start, I might have, but I decided to go with 5, to not make the video too long. I mean, I could do this video again a little bit later in this save if anybody would want that, because that, could be pretty interesting to see who my favorite Wonder Kids are have evolved. And as I said, if anybody wants to, I can very easily do this for my FM21 save as well. I think that would be a lot of fun, so I might just do that anyway. And yeah, with that being said, if you enjoyed the video, or want to see this video again on an FM21 save, please subscribe and like the video. Comment what other videos you want me to do, whether that's, regens or actual Wonder Kids. I can do some stuff with tactics if you want. I do have a lot of hours in Football Manager. I feel like I know what I'm talking about. So, could also leave my Twitter down below in the description if anybody wants to send me questions there. That could work as well. Just let me know what you want me to do, because I can do basically anything at this point. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye.